Hello, what is up? Welcome back to my channel, you guys. Welcome to a brand new video, finally. How are you guys? Hopefully you're doing wonderful. You like my bow? I'm being hella extra today, and I give no shits. Anyways, everything in my life has just been incredibly chaotic and crazy. What's new? And so that's why I've just kind of fell off the face of YouTube. But it is what it is. I'll get back in the hang of things. I'll get back in the groove sooner or later, so bear with me, please and thank you. Also, we're going to be looking over my grungy nails today, okay? As well as my hair, because I'm going to be getting it chopped all the way off. Not all the way off, but I'm going to be getting it a good chop in a couple of weeks, and I'm pretty excited for it. So, until then, this is what we're working with. Okay, so today I'm going to be sharing with y'all some plants that I have owned in the past and I'm quite familiar with at this point, that I've killed at least one point or another. In my houseplant keeping journey, a couple of years ago or so, I did a video on plants that made my hit list, I think was the title of that video, and it was plants that I was killing or had killed that I just had decided were not my thing. It was not plants that I would ever purchase again. Well, this video is basically similar but kind of the opposite. So it's plants that I've killed that not only that I would purchase again, but I have purchased again. I have them now. I'm currently growing them again for at least the second, potentially the third time, because I loved them so very much and I was pretty distraught and heartbroken whenever I lost them initially. So that's what we're doing. That's what we're talking about, looking at, and all of the above today. So if you're interested in checking out some of these plants, then stay tuned, stick around, hang tight. Let's jump right on into it. This here is an adorable little Scindapsus. This is a Scindapsus Jade Satin. Jade Satin Scindapsus, whatever you would like to call her. Now, I've never purchased this plant before that I can think of, but I did receive a cute little cutting in a trade that I did 2 or so years ago. I tried with all my might to root and grow that little cutting, but I was not successful and I killed the cutting before I could get any roots or growth or anything of the sorts off of it. Basically, I've not really grown the plant. I just tried to start the plant and grow the plant, and it just didn't work out for me. And I've wanted another one ever since. But honestly, this is a plant that's been more on the pricey side, at least in the US. It was expensive for even little cuttings of it, and I was honestly kind of hesitant for the longest time to purchase another cutting, even whenever I found them for decent prices, because my first initial experience with this plant.
Also, you guys, look over my eyelashes. This one here, what is it doing? It's nighttime, and I just kind of stuck these on my face to avoid putting on mascara, just to take it right back off and go to bed. I already had some foundation and stuff on, so I stuck these lashes on, and afterwards I realized I put them on wrong. So this one, you know, I couldn't be bothered to fix it. If it bugs you throughout this video, I'm so sorry.
Look at the plants, not me, okay? Anywho, I found this a while back. This was one of my more recent purchases. I got this on Etsy. It was a really reasonable price for a rooted 3-leaf cutting. She is thirsty, that's why these leaves are curling here. But whenever I water her, she'll straighten back out, so no worries. Not yet, anyway. This is the newest leaf here. Look how beautiful. I love Scindapsus in general. There's just so many different varieties and types. All of them are just so gorgeous, but especially there's just something about this matte green leaf, the satin green leaf, if you will, that really draws me in and I just find really beautiful. And there's also this really subtle dark veination through the leaves that's just like, it's gorgeous. It's really gorgeous. And then if we turn her around to her backside, you may or may not be able to see there's a new leaf working its way up through the petiole right here. I'm pretty stoked about it. I can't wait to see that new leaf. And also, can we talk about this planter? I got this at Kroger, you guys. Kroger. It doesn't have a drainage hole. I'm using it as a little cash po situation. This is a gorgeous planter. I wanted to put something in this pot that wasn't trelling yet. I want to really be able to see the details of the pot. As soon as I brought this home, I was like, oh my gosh, I have the perfect plant for it, and here we are. This is a Philodendron Florida green. Look at this new leaf. How cutesy is this leaf? Oh, I love it. I love this shape of leaf. Any and all leaves that have a similar shape to this, I love them. I love them so much. Guys, I'm actually quite ashamed to admit that I have basically killed my Philodendron Florida. I think it was root rot. Actually, I think it was either root rot or underwatering. One extreme or the other. That I lost the roots. So I took a cutting and I put it in water. I can't remember. I've been doing so much plant work over the last few months. I really can't remember either moss or water, but either way, all the leaves just continued to die. It wasn't rooting, and I do still have one little itty bitty single leaf cutting of the plant in moss, but I don't know if it's gonna make it or not, so that's why I got this one. I think I got it in the same order as this. They were just really, really affordable, inexpensive. They were actually running a discount. They were running a sale on their shop. So I did get another Philodendron Florida, and the one that I had was itty bitty. Like when I got it, it was like the leaves were, they didn't even have any shape to them. They didn't have any of these cutouts that you see on this leaf. And I had it for quite a long time, and it was starting to finally mature, but I ruined it. I screwed it up. So we have another one that's a little bit larger in size. Well, a good bit larger in size, let's be honest. And it's definitely quite a bit more mature than the previous one that I had. Like the leaves on it, it might have had a leaf this large, but most of them were like this. Okay, just for reference. And it's definitely more difficult to grow and keep alive, keep healthy, keep thriving. More juvenile plants. Like that's just a fact. That's just what it is. So yeah, hopefully now that I have a larger one, and it's a very easy plant. It was totally my doings. It was my fault, all on me. So just so you know. Now I have a little bit larger one. I got more grow lights as well, you guys. I've gotten more grow lights because that was a huge issue in my house since we moved to this location. We just haven't had enough light for many of my plants. So I did get new lights, and I'm able to utilize several shelves that I wasn't really able to utilize to the full extent anyway prior. So he's living on one of those shelves, and he unfurled this leaf in my care, and I was just so excited to see it. It made my whole day. And we have another growth plant right here. I have basically pretty much almost killed, I'm sure, I guess it could qualify as killed since I just have a teeny cutting left, my Philodendron Florida, and we're absolutely trying again, 100%, and I have no regrets. Gosh, I love it. The next two plants that we're about to look at are actually plants that I just recently got as a gift for Mother's Day from my wonderful husband, Jason. You guys know he buys me plants sometimes, and I greatly appreciate it, and I just have to say these are two that I'm very ecstatic about. So let me show you, I guess, the lesser exciting one of the two, but they're both really exciting to me, not gonna lie. Look at this. Oh my gosh. Costa Farms has hit West Virginia. Okay, they have hit. Like, wow, are you kidding me? So this is obviously a Rhaphidophora tetrasperma, but look how large these leaves are, y'all. Are you for real? Like, they're huge. How full and lush. And then we have a couple of new leaves right here. I actually did rip one of them a little bit, which is pretty sad. And the new leaves aren't as large as the older leaves, of course, but I would like to get them at least close to the size of some of the largest leaves on this plant. Now, I do still have a Rhaphidophora tetrasperma. It is climbing up a moss pole, but it's not getting enough light. We have to move. It's not getting enough light. I have enough room for smaller plants and even medium-sized plants, but for the taller ones that don't fit on shelves that are like climbing poles, I need to figure something out until we buy our house and I have like a designated plant room for them. But I do have it still. It's still alive. It's doing okay. It just hasn't really grown that much over this last winter. So anyways, I really wanted a more full and lush Rhaphidophora. So this is just so exciting to me, you guys. Like, look how gorgeous these leaves are. I just can't get over how large the leaves are. I have owned others before this that I did kill. I have sold one or two. I know I've killed at least one Rhaphidophora tetrasperma, and I've sold a couple. It's getting really, really good light. I'm just staying on top of my plants a lot better now, thank goodness, and I'm prepared to see him thrive this summer, this spring and summer. So Rhaphidophora tetrasperma, a mega Rhaphidophora tetrasperma, if I do say so myself. Beautiful. And for this one, instead of a pole, I think what I would really like to do is get a cute trellis to pop in his pot and just kind of let him climb around the trellis and see what he does for me. The second plant that I got for Mother's Day, look at this, you guys. What a score. What a score. So I had heard that Costa Farms was coming out with full pots of the Monstera Peru. However, I absolutely did not think that we would see them where I live for at least like another year or two, because that's just how it tends to be here. But these were actually picked up not at my local Walmart, but a Walmart closer to my hometown, which is even more bizarre because it's an even smaller town than where we're at now. And they don't have a very large garden center, but they do have a lot of scores. I've found so many good plants there that I've never seen at my local big box stores. Monstera Peru. So I had a Monstera Peru for years. It did really well for the longest time, and then it just started going downhill, and it would put off a leaf here and there. It would be beautiful and it would be larger than the last, but it just kept losing all of its lower leaves. Like every time it put out a leaf, it would lose a leaf. And it was in a terracotta pot. It was definitely getting underwatered, okay? I know that for a fact. So I decided to chop it up, I don't know, a couple of months ago, I guess. I actually sent a cutting of it to my friend Sarah, and she still has it. I was like, I'm killing the mother plant, so I really want to send you a cutting before I lose the plant entirely, because she did not have a Peru. Anyways, and then it wasn't long after that mine was dying, so I chopped it up, and I guess it was already too late. I think the stem really wasn't healthy at all, and so the cuttings did not make it. They didn't survive, you guys. And I was pretty upset about that, even though I was really frustrated with the plant at the time, because it was like on the struggle bus, never ending. Nothing I did seemed to really matter at that point once it got to that certain point. Anyways, I was sad about it, and looking online, you don't find full pots of many plants these days unless it's like a pothos or something, but definitely not Monstera Peru. You don't find full pots for under $100, and you know, these were under $20. Costa Farms. So I'm just so thrilled and ecstatic to have this big, beautiful, already trailing Monstera Peru. So this is my second try, and I will not screw this one up. We have tons of new growth coming in all over the pot. Like, there's just so many growth points, you guys. It's incredible. Look at this new leaf here. Isn't that beautiful? So yeah, you guys, be sure and keep your eyes open at all your big box stores. Whenever you go in, check out the garden centers, because we are getting these plants in. It makes my heart so happy. It makes my heart so happy. Look at this little babe. This is an Alocasia caprea red secret. I'm gonna put a photo on the screen of what they look like when they're more mature. Maybe I'll put a photo on the screen of the one that I had, because I had a really large, mature, gorgeous one a few years back. It was the most I'd ever spent on a plant. I imported it. It was over $100, but it was a really good size. Like, it had some really chunky leaves, okay? I was obsessed with that plant. I didn't have it very long. My very first winter with the plant, it was the year I got my first ever like really bad spider mite outbreak, winter spider mite outbreak. It was horrible. Like, I was struggling so badly. But not only did that plant end up with a very severe case of spider mites, it also had really, really bad infestation of mealybugs. So it was just hit really, really hard. It lost all of the foliage, and I kept it in the pot for a little while, hoping that it would come back, because y'all know, or you should probably know, that alocasias grow from a bulb and they can go dormant and come back, right? So if they lose all their foliage, you should keep them, cut back on the watering and fertilizing, but continue to water them here and there, you know, here and there, and just wait, and they'll usually come back. However, I just had so many plants that I was rehabbing. There was no leaves on it. There was no signs of new growth, and so I ended up throwing out the bulb, and I have deeply regretted it ever since. These were very, very expensive at the time, and only as of recently am I seeing the prices finally start to come down on them. Like most alocasia prices are coming down on in general. Again, it is a little baby, so it's definitely much more delicate. I have to be sure I'm really keeping up with her watering and, you know, just giving her the best living conditions possible, because it would be very easy for this plant to get upset and again lose all of its foliage. This is the new leaf right here, right? I don't see a new babe coming in just yet, and this one looks like it's probably on its way out. I haven't lost any leaves yet from shipping, and I've had it for a little while now, so that makes sense to me. I actually just watered her as well, but isn't she so cute, especially in this planter? I can't wait to watch her grow and mature and see more of that beautiful metallic sheen on the leaves, more of that purple as well. So happy that I was able to replace her finally. The last plant that I want to share with you guys is this little cutie. Oh my gosh, it's adorable. So this is another Rhaphidophora. This is a Rhaphidophora decursiva, and now this is kind of an exception to the rule of this video. I still have my big Rhaphidophora decursiva on a pole. It's just it's gotten very, very, very leggy. That's an issue that I've definitely had with this plant. It grows well when it's small, and then once it starts to vine out, it likes to shoot out these very long, naked, like butt-ass naked runners with no leaves on them, and then it'll put out a little leaf on the very end of the runner. But it's been a really slow grower, and yeah, that's just something that's happened. Maybe it's a lighting issue. Could definitely be. So this one's living in a different condition, but I wanted to try again, and so I have this one. I've had it for a good while now, and it's been doing great. I see a new growth point coming in down here, so that's exciting. Oh my gosh, I just seen that. Okay, fungus stat, ew. But anyways, yeah, I wanted to get another one and try again and just see if maybe I could grow it a little bit more beautifully, I guess. So this one's living in my grow tent in completely different conditions with much better, brighter light. It is a really thick leafed plant, so probably does appreciate more on the direct side of lighting when it comes to lighting. So that's what it's getting. It's growing, so I know y'all aren't going to be able to see that little growth point down in there, but it is growing, so that's a good sign. Again, this is another one that I probably will buy some type of trellis and put in the pot for him to climb rather than a pole like I did with my current or previous one. Like I said, it's still alive, it's just ugly. So anyways, mine had, whenever I got it from NSC, I think. It had juvenile leaves, but I think it already had a few more mature leaves with the fenestrations in it. But I honestly really, really love the look of these leaves without the fenestrations. Yes, they look really cool and they do get the fenestrations and they get larger, but I don't know what it is. I just really like the look of this without the fenestrations. So I really won't be mad if it stays in its juvenile form for a bit. So I'm kind of like not really in a big rush to put it on a trellis or anything right now, as long as it's growing fine and doing well. This one's beautiful. It's super lush and full, and I'm obsessed. I love the shiny leaves. It's just so nice, and it kind of reminds me of like a peace lily or maybe even like a cast iron plant. The way that the leaves look, the texture of the leaves, the thickness of the leaves, and the backs are like this really pretty lime green color. Anyways, Rhaphidophora decursiva. All right, you guys, I think that is pretty well gonna do it for this video, but thank you so very much for hanging out with me, watching this video, giving me your time. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you again very soon, hopefully very soon, in my next video. Y'all are the best. Bye.